Good morning, everyone. Warm welcome to my YouTube channel, Making It in Austria. I'm your host, Adela, and it's a beautiful Friday. We're all looking forward to the weekend and spend some lovely time outside and with the family and friends. And I'm so much excited even more for this Friday to make it even more special. I have a guest, a very special guest, as all of my guests, Sabina Castrini from Marco Simonis Culinary Experience directly from Vienna in her own restaurant. So Sabina, warm welcome. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good morning and a very nice Friday to everyone.
Thank you. And I love it that you are in your restaurant. So for our listeners and community, so if you hear some of the, clicks and clacks in the background, it's the restaurant. So that's how it's supposed to be, right? It's the restaurant, it's lively, it's meeting people, it's coming together. So that's the reason for one or the other cup of coffee, if you might.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I cannot offer you a coffee.
But we'll come to see your place. So it's so nice that you found the opportunity to do the interview directly at Marco Simonis. And Sabina, thank you so much. As we have had 100 episodes, I'm so excited that almost you are my third guest. It's going to be the 103rd episode, and all of you are from Bosnia and Herzegovina. So the 101 and 2 and 3 will be then from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I'm really, really happy for that. I have had guests from over 50 or 60 countries, and Making It in Austria was a place that was prepared for the people that, came from all over the world and made a home in Austria. So what was your way, Sabina? So how did you find your way to Austria, to Vienna?
I have to say now, maybe it's a surprise with Sabina Castrini that the Boston is behind this name. But yeah, so I'm kind of on the cover with Castrini. I was actually 8 years old at that time when we came to Vienna, so 1992. And yeah, as a child, I would say the biggest challenge for me was leaving my home country. And coming to a place where I had no friends. Most of my family was then spread, I don't know, Norway, Sweden, Bosnia. I started at a new school without knowing the language, which meant I couldn't communicate with other kids or understand anything in class. So that was, I really remember a scene with my mom where I hugged her and begged her not to leave me there, because it was really, really challenging. I think nowadays this changed also. You have now more kids in the class, but back then it was, I was the only child. So, and as I mentioned, I was 8 years old. For my parents, especially my mother, who was 40 at that time, so I'm 40 now. It was an entirely new life as well. So they, of course, didn't speak the language. I had no contacts, no network, and I had to find any kind of work, to just support us and build a new life from scratch.
Yeah. So to all of our parents, I often think that, it was hard for us, because we say that we have lost our childhood, which we did. So the ones we stayed in Bosnia, but we have moved many, many places.
Yeah.
But for our parents, taking that all on their shoulders, moving, firstly, finding the way to move out, to come to the new country, to start a new life, to also financially, culturally, socially, and so on. So I believe our parents did an amazing job and putting us in, finding good schools, good friends, good neighborhoods, fitting that in a relatively short period of time, because no one was waiting for them to, land in, to adjust, to settle, and so on and so forth, because they had to do it from very big beginning. So big shout out to our parents. We might not say it always, but they took a big load on their shoulders to bring us where we are now. Sabina, I
definitely.
have not asked you, where are you from Bosnia? So from which
I was born in Bijeljina.
Bijeljina? Nice.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think so. I had guests from Bijeljina. So the last one was from Jajce. The one
Okay.
before was from Sarajevo. I'm from Velika Kladuša, so from Krajina.
Hmm.
So it's a very nice cultural mix.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
and now, so you said that you came when you were 8 years old. Now it's a different story. So now you have a very nice and successful life, I would say, living in the heart of Vienna and doing what you love. I
Yeah,
read a little bit about your journey with the food. So
yeah.
you definitely, so I saw that you were working with one of these big companies when it comes to the coffee, and then you moved to the food. So it fits with the, I don't know who found you. Italy found you or you found Italy, because our first association with Italy is always lovely people, great food,
Yeah.
especially coffee, So how did you find all that, what you have done in your life?
So as you mentioned, I worked for 9 years for a big company. I mean, I can say that it was
Yes.
Nespresso. So, but then at a certain point, I did not see myself in all these, structures and meetings and everything big, and just the thing that I was not able to be creative and innovative, because it's, so I started to actually think to do something else, and I had some health issues, so I had to change my diet. So it had to be gluten free, vegan, without industrial sugar. So a huge challenge for my whole family. Be married to an Italian at first, and also with a Boston family. No pita was a challenge. Yeah, and back then I started to think to change my path, and started to do some experiments with food. So especially sweets,
Mhm.
and yeah, I discovered that it's actually my passion, that I have a good feeling for it, for the ingredients and everything. So yeah, I started to do some things, and to taste everything with my friends and family, and I decided to say goodbye to Nespresso after 9 years, and then I left Austria for a couple of weeks, and I have completed a course, a one-to-one course for a raw vegan chef. So
Mhm.
I specialize kind of for this, let's say, gourmet desserts that are without industrial sugar, gluten-free, and vegan. And my main goal was always, I wanted it to be, when it's hazelnut, that you say, oh my God, I taste the hazelnut and it's amazing. And nothing is missing. This is the real thing, and not the things from the supermarket where you have like so many things to read before you try it. Yeah, I mean, this would be now a too long story. The plan was actually to start my own business. So I had like a signature product. This was
Mhm.
a hazelnut cream with 85% hazelnuts from Italy. And I wanted really to have products for, let's say, high-end hospitality and gastronomy. But I had to give up this dream. And then this would be 100% too long story, so I will make it short. Marco Simonis came up to me and offered me a job. So we started to work with each other. And now I have the privilege of leading and further developing a wonderful gastro concept in the heart of Vienna, as the CEO. So from the very beginning, I've had Marco Simonis by my side. So someone who recognized my potential, supported me, and gave me really the space to bring my ideas to life. So from both a personal and mindset perspective, it was really a perfect match. And yeah, stepping into this role felt completely natural. And if I had been part of it from the very start. So our concept combines gastronomy with retail. So we offer all-day dining and really carefully curated selection of accessorized house-made products from Italy and France. And we are specialized in high-end catering. So serving anywhere from 2 to around 1,500 people. Wow. As a full service caterer. So we take care of everything from the venue to entertainment, guest gifts, really tailoring each event to our clients' needs. Could also be the Janje, a lamb from maybe a Boston event, to like truffle and caviar and so on. The location is in the city center, as I mentioned, Dominicana Bastei, and guests can also host private dining experiences, so making them the perfect host for the evening. And our USP is really curated culinary experience as our slogan across all areas. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how does Austria is the home of schnitzel, right? So how does the Austrian society reacts to the vegan culinary experience? So do you see that trend growing? Do you see people being more interested into vegan, and where do the ingredients come from and how they are prepared? Or who are your kind of guests and people that
I have just
about?
to mention, so my let's say back then a vegan journey has nothing to do with the Marco Simonis concept, because we have everything. We have really from Kalbsbutter schnitzel to peanut butter chicken, vegetarian, vegan things. I mean, what we don't do, we you will not find really written it's vegan, it's gluten-free. You read it, and actually the guests that we have, they know when they come, like everything is curated. So they know the quality is always number one, and they can rely on that. Also where the products come from. So we have now, for example, a very beautiful story. Maybe I can show you. Olive oil from my father-in-law from Umbria. So he comes originally from Umbria, and he has 100 olive trees, and gets around 150 liters of olive oil. And normally only we, the family, and some friends get this liquid gold. But I talked to him last year and I said, look, I would love to have it at Marco Simonis. So yeah, we did it. We have now a limited quantity of bottles, and really designed and personalized for Marco Simonis with the story behind. So really also with his name, Alido Castrini from Umbria, and that Marco and Uli, his wife, are now, let's say, part of this family. So for us, it's always number one is always the quality, but of course also the packaging. So the design is very important. So everything we have, it looks very nice.
Sweet.
So you can really come to have a lunch, and then, I mean, you cannot avoid it to make here around and to look at the products. And it's so nice if you want to gift someone something special. That could be ingredients at a book, for example, from Sicily with recipes, and someone has the perfect dinner ingredients and accessorize and so on. So yeah, I would say, I mean, you can see that I'm excited about the concept. No, it's because it's really special. You know, it also maybe from Bosnia or somewhere else. Sometimes in Vienna, this Dolce Vita vibe is, I miss it, you know. And when you enter, really, when you open the door to Marco Simonis, it's really this special feeling. You have the feeling it could be a little bit of Paris, a little bit of Rome, a little bit of New York. And that's really amazing and exciting.
So to everyone listening, if you have not been yet, or you can go the second and third or fifth time. So it's time to check Marco Simonis with the spring coming, and it's a beautiful time to do that. Sabina, we here at Making It in Austria talk also about, the people's ways to, finding the, around Vienna, and not just Vienna, but Austria. So I have guests all over the Austria. So what have you seen? So your story is very specific one to the time period of through our history. So, but I'm sure you have friends and you have colleagues, and you have seen, you have observed it. So, what would you say? How important is how to find your way even faster? So I don't know. So how important are the networks, the language? So what would you say? You are a chef yourself. So what would be this recipe? To land here and to feel like this is your home and
Yeah.
you feel like this is the place you want to spend your life?
I would say be prepared for the challenges. Maybe this is not the first positive thing I say, but I think it's really important to have moving to a new country comes with many obstacles, the right mindset is key, I would say. So focus on finding solutions, building a network, and staying open to new opportunities. Secondly, I would really say persistence is everything. So you have to be willing to go all in for your goals. Reach out to people, and most importantly, never give up, even when you hear no multiple times. I can really say it from my experience. And also in Austria, I have to say, normally I would say it from Bosnia, but I have to say it's also in Austria. You have to double check everything. Yeah. So my experience in Austria has shown me that asking twice can sometimes lead to a different answer. So always stay curious and don't settle for the first piece of information you get.
And how?
And
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I've had so many experiences that confirmed how important it is to dare to approach people, ask questions, and even sometimes ask for favors. I mean, it has never felt uncomfortable for me. And over time, I've built through this a strong network, really because of it. Now, I often have people in my circle reaching out to me for recommendations, whether it's for a job, a doctor, or anything else. And even if I don't have the right contact myself, I always know someone I can call who will. So networking has truly become one of my biggest assets.
We actually met first time last year. It was, I believe, April, at one of the events that was organized by the Association Businesswomen of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And as you said, it's so important to have a strong network, to have a place where you can go and feel different stories, get advices, be open, be real, be yourself. Also, different places. So I've been also part of different networks, and some of them are, very related to my job, to the industry that I work in. Others are related to different topics. It's always a mix. And I do appreciate the networks in different languages as well. Some that you can go and speak in Bosnian, and some that you can speak in German, some in English, etc. So I believe nowadays in Vienna, it became a place where you have so many different networks, which is good, so that you can really, if you're a new one to the country and or just starting, there's so many great places that you can start, with, and where you can go and meet friends or like-minded people, get in touch with various things. And what's even more important, as you said, challenges, persistence, and skills. It's the fact that if you find something that it's not there, so if you realize I want to build something, and I'm looking for something, but it's not there, then you can build it on your own. Basically, there's no limits to that nowadays with the digital world. You can really do a lot of things with very limited budget, let's say.
Definitely. And we have so many examples and successful people, especially the younger generation. I mean, I'm really amazed how brave they are. So definitely there are always opportunities. I mean, it depends always. When I remember my parents, I think they were kind of, they had like a shock, because it would be something different for me if I move now to, I don't know, Italy or France or something else. Back then it was really different. But for them, it was like, you have really to decide, okay, what will I do to have money for my children, because I lost everything, my whole life disappeared more or less. So this is also a different situation when you compare it to someone who decides, okay, I speak 3 languages and I will try it in Paris or something like that. But I mean, I would say in Austria, language plays an extremely important role when it comes to finding a job. I have really to admit it. Unless you work for an international company, I mean, it, or come as an expat, not speaking German can be a huge challenge when trying to build a life here. So it's simply, I would say, expected. So from my own perspective, within our company, I also need people who speak the language, because a lot of our work involves storytelling. So products and so on. So communication is key. But however, if I see potential in someone, I'm always willing to give them a chance, probably because of my own background. But in the end, it just has to be, the right fit.
True.
Yeah.
True. So I also got my first job without knowing, perfect German, and the company was ready to invest, into school and classes and this and that. And I had very generous colleagues who said, we just speak German with you, so we will not do this switching back and forth, the English German. So when it's comfortable, go to this language. When it's not, just so it was sense. Really helpful, because that's the best place. If you want learning the language, you need to have a place to practice it. It's good to read the books, important, and listen to podcasts. It pays off. But this interaction with one to each other, I was really amazed when, after I believe it was 6 months or so, when I started saying sentences and words that I did not say so in the books, because the classical courses, they teach you classical things, not related to the job. And I was like, where do I have this from? From Alex, from Ola, from Ina, and so from other of my colleagues, because I was just around with them, and I was just like picking up as much as possible. So,
and you really have to want it. So I remember, I mean, it's a funny story. My father-in-law is living in Italy. He does not speak German. Of course, he doesn't speak Bosnian. So and I love to speak with him, because he's, this typically Italian, talking a lot and everything. And I don't know, I told something to my husband, like a story, and said, please translate it. And it was like a monologue for 5 minutes from my side. And my husband turned to him like for 10 seconds. And I said, what? That was it? No, I have to learn this to talk to him. And I learned Italian. So I speak Italian, because we are every 2 months in Italy. And in Italy, it's not so super easy with English. So actually I said, okay, I don't want to be, in the position that I always need my husband to translate something. I also want to speak to the people. And in Italy, when you go to a restaurant, to a bakery, they are very open. So they want to talk to you. And for me, it was like, okay, I'm going to learn this language. And I did it, really. So this is also something you have really to, you have also these possibilities now. An app, for example, does not cost a lot. There are also a lot of things on social media for free. So if you want it, you can do it. And also the community around you is very important, because if you only stick to your community, so you speak just your language, of course it's not so easy. So I would really recommend also to find people around you, to go out with people from different. When we came here, my circle of friends when I was younger, a totally mixture, and that, Ukraine, Iran, Austria. So really, I had like no Bosnian friends, and of course I was forced to speak German. And I mean, I have to admit, my parents on the other side, my mom speaks, but with some grammatical issues. And yeah, of course, because they more or less stayed in this kind of community and circle.
Yeah. I think we did the same when we moved to Austria. My husband and myself, we moved about 11 years ago. and then we started to looking for people from all over the world, because that's what you have in Vienna. That's also one of the wealthy things that you can get around. You can speak any language. You can hear a lot of languages, and you can meet people from all over the world. One of the things, since we also love Italy, but we don't speak the language, unfortunately, is the funny thing is when we were last year is funny nice thing is that whatever language you speak to, like you try English or German, they answer in Italian. So it was it was like,
now you know.
Great. So I was like, I asked this, and then sometimes I was like coming with the phone, and then I asking for certain things for the kids, and then I was like, okay, this, and then, and then, so they answer in Italian, and you go with the flow, because they take it so naturally. It's I believe it has to with the culture and mindset that they just roll. You just roll with it. You don't.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not like they why don't you speak my language and you're here. It's just they roll with it, and then we find a way. So they work to find a way. So I really love that about the culture. It's
just don't ask for the ananas on your pizza.
It's like, or the other friend. So the other colleague was, I had during the MBA, I had an Italian colleague that was visiting Vienna, and then we were having dinner somewhere in the city, like the whole MBA group, and then I ordered after 8 o'clock, I ordered cappuccino. And then he didn't know it was me. I was sitting next to him, so, Luigi, and he was like, orders cappuccinos. I was like, it was a bit.
Cosa fai?
No, you don't do it. You don't do it. So you learn.
Yeah.
So as you said, it's so important to stay open, and as well to be curious. Why is that some things are done that way? So what is to dig deeper, and not to get like, okay, I cannot have this coffee. Since I have you, Sabina, and you are the new, you have the family in Italy. So what is with the hands? So we do a lot of have hands when we talk. So, but
also in Bosnia, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do they have?
Yes, but it's really non-verbal communication. Yeah, they have to do this. It's Even my little one. Actually, it's something. He speaks all three languages because I speak with him only Bosnian. My husband in Italian, and the two of us in German, and of course kindergarten German. Yes. So, and he's really, when he speaks in Bosnian, he has this. Sometimes I think, oh my God, he seems like he grew up in Bosnia. But the same thing with the Italian language, really. So he's also doing this, they're funny. Yeah, they're really, really talking with the whole. It's like body language. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sabina, thank you so much for joining today. We have a couple of more minutes before we wrap up. Anything that we have forgotten, or you want to share a book that you're reading for the last couple of minutes we have?
Actually, I started to read The Medical Medium from Anthony Williams, so it's something really for the health side, and but the big fives for life continued the part 2, let's say. I started to read at the moment, and that helped me. Also, the first one really inspired me also for my work, and I discussed it also with Marco. So this is something I'm curious now for part 2, and maybe something. So I mentioned that I had this plan with this product, healthy but very, very good products, and there will be, I can say it now, I don't know when the podcast will be online.
Somewhere in March.
Okay, then. Yeah. So I mentioned this hazelnut cream. And this hazelnut cream will be available soon with my own branding, powered by Marco Simonis. So this is something I'm really, really excited about, and also grateful and thankful to Marco, because he was like, come on, what are you waiting for? Let's do it. It was like your dream, and let's do it with your own brand. So I did like a rebranding. So then it will be Casa Castrini. And my big dream is to have this house in Tuscany. So also the logo is with the house in Tuscany, Casa Castrini. An amazing product, 85% hazelnuts from Italy. No industrial sugar. You can do your own chocolates at home with the cream.
Wow.
So you now you have to come and visit
Now
me.
I have to come.
Now
I have to come. So I'll pack my laptop and I'm off to you. Wow.
Yeah.
So many great things, Sabina. I wish all that to happen to you. So I saw you had amazing 2024. I hope that 2025 now is going to be even better. And all the years that are coming, that you enjoy all the great work in good health and with your family.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. And we're looking forward to meet you in person. Thank you so much for today, for this morning, for taking the time. And to everyone, thank you for listening. Please do connect with Sabina. Please do check her profiles. I will link her LinkedIn and other places, the website. And please go check the restaurants and all the great things that they're doing. And yeah, thank you. Enjoy everything. Yeah.
Everyone, welcome to grab a coffee, something to eat, to really check out our location. Also, businesses, companies which need support, culinary support for some events, small ones at our place, or really something big. We are happy really to organize it and to help and support to do something really special. Yeah.
I hope we do some of this as well, Sabina. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you soon. Thanks.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye-bye.